Alright, so I already had this video planned a while ago, but I never completely executed it. I was meant to show off what progress I made with this game if I was ever to not complete it. So here's just a video showcasing what I've done since April of 2017. This is obviously voiced over, and here's a few intros citing the source of my friend who helped create this game. This is the title screen, like shown before. There's nothing new to it. The three options of start to make a new game, progress to start a continuous game, and off to just shut down the game. Starting in, I tried to make this intro scene, but I never completely made it. It just was left there in the dump for a while. Here's the main layout of the place. You can press control to go around the event entirely, but you're supposed to go to the left, which then triggers the event because you can't go to the right, which then leads you to talk to the computer with this cutscene. This was more or less supposed to be a more story-focused game instead of being a game meant for like a ton of action and gameplay because it was made in RPG Maker. I'm gonna select yes here instead of no, though there are two options. I'll show no at the end. But yeah, most of this is focused around dialogue, and with the few minutes I made with this game, there's not a lot of interesting dialogue. Printing out a map, this game doesn't really have a good story, though I tried to make it so you can interact with a lot of things. Look at this tree here. This tree is specifically interesting for this text alone. It's nothing important, but just want to show something later. And like these walls right here, you can't really interact with them at all. They're just placeholders in a way, I guess, but you can interact with this table. And this computer, this was never really hinted at well, but it shows like some of the main keys you can use, especially x-axising your menu. I had nothing in here at the moment. The skills do nothing. The equipment, there's nothing. I may have changed like a few names for it, but than that, nothing. No items, no key items, never implemented, and status is just like changing a few things. You're gonna see the colon 3 a lot in this, though. There's no doubt about it. Again, just looking at the table here. And the printer here. You can, like, print or wait on it. Right now I'm gonna wait on it, but... Oh, and there's a door right here in this current moment. I left the key around here, but I'm gonna find it later. And behind here, I also made this interactable, and like there's something I was testing out where after 10 times of doing this, I created a different type of dialogue. More or less just to test out events and their dialogue in the end. And after that, he does talk to you again. There's the key I was mentioning, where you can finally head off into this place, but there's nothing really special, no reward, just some random places where I can test events with dialogue in the end. The boxes here, they're badly drawn and you can't interact with them, which sucks. And this here is just... I mean, programmer is a bit generous considering what this is, but I'm going to print out the item here now. And worst thing here is that you don't get an item, you don't get a box saying that you printed it out. Oh, there, sorry, forgot to mention, but there your text, it changes from yellow over to white. I don't know why I forgot to change it, but it was just like that. In this big art room, there's nothing to go with, you can't really do anything in it, but it was supposed to be as a next point to progressing the game. Other than that, I'm gonna move on and check out some of the art sprites I've created for this game so far. And here I have some of the sprites that I created for this. There's a lot I did not use, but here are the main two sprites. One indicating supercat, one is actually a supercat. The sprites here actually were like inspired by Space Funeral, but I made them horrific. They're not good whatsoever, and oh, well, over here I have a better version of these sprites where it wasn't compressed all crap, and these boxes here indicating a save point that I never used. Specifically looking, here's a blank template I used to create these other facial sprites. Here showcasing the facial sprites I used for Charles. I did not specifically use this one, and I don't know what it was meant for, but the rest of these were utilized in the scene you've seen. These entirely were not used. These all were supposed to be different entities in the game. Never used. As said, these ones were supposed to be like workers in a sense, and that white one here is supposed to represent like a merchant you could have bought from, like most RPGs allow you to. I actually really admire these designs, but I never use them, as said, and in a sense it's kind of good in a way because I don't know what I was gonna do with them. This is also another battle sprite. I just made a merchant, but these arms are so long. Actually looking at it, it's horrific now. Ugh. But this here is the main menu screen. If you want to really see it, it got compressed again considering how I put it into the RPG Maker engine, but other than that it's there. And here's like the tram scene that was shown for a brief moment. As said here, this scene was supposed to be used as like a cutscene point, but I was never able to get around to completely making that. And like going here, there's like only like, well, don't look down here, this is just basic stuff. Up here's like the tile sprites that I was trying to do, but for some reason I could never really get them to work with me. It was always a pain to try to get them to actually be still. I never used that tiny plan up there, but the rest of these were all used, at least mostly, if with connecting and such. But other than that, that's most of the stuff I have here. Finally, I have this little journal I started. Oh, I was wrong. This was with April, not August. My fault. I just mostly wrote about my progress or things halting my progress at the time. A lot of this is just ramblings, as stated in the head. It's like not important, but I just felt as if I should share it in the end. And here's the little scene I said I'd show. I'm just gonna let it play through and let you watch for it.